Jayda is beating up any and everyone he can get his hands on. Link got his lit back with Korri, but hell, Korri is getting put through the ringer with everyone at this point. And poor Noel, he was doing all that hooting and hollering, but getting dropped. Granted, I felt bad for him at the end. If you know, you know. But let's talk about it. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you are watching this. Hey y'all, hey. So as you already read the title down below, I'm about to get into season 3 of Bad Boys, and this time they are in the Dominican Republic. Hey, 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 hey. All right, I just did too much. But anyways, I can't lie, y'all. They are already starting off really good, and everything is flowing well. So let's talk about it. First off, let me just say, if you're watching my recap right now / review of this show, let me give y'all a warning now. Majority of these boys are new to me. I don't know their personalities online. I don't know who they are, where they from, what they, known from. I don't know nothing. So I'm literally going into this blind with a fresh mindset and perspective because my thoughts on them haven't been altered since I don't know, anything about them. Also, I didn't watch the tryouts, but the auditions because those are always long for no reason to me. So I don't care about the picking process. Just show me the boys when they get on the show. Thank you. So let's get into it for real. Here are my first impressions, but please understand, once we get into the show, some of my thoughts do change. But getting right into it, we get introduced to Landon first, and he already hyped up. And baby, he is from Jacksonville, Florida. So I'm already low-key liking him as a girly from Miami, Florida. Okay? And everyone I know from Jacksonville, they be a good time, but they crazy as hell. All of them. Every last person I know from Jackson. Crazy. So I'm going to watch him, but I can see him kind of being, a vibe. Then Landon says, he knows another boy on the show named Pootie because they've been in a on and off relationship. I'm like, Lord Jesus, these two are about to be having a lover's quarrel the entire show. They're either going to be fighting each other because they in their feelings about something, or they're going to be teaming up. Either way, I'm just ready to see how, the dynamic plays out. But then plot twist, Landon straight up tells us they riding for each other. So if you play with him, you playing with me. And if you play with me, you playing with him. So yeah, they're about to be jumping people, child. But side note, Landon is a little handsome. Like, he a little handsome little thing, child. But moving on, more boys come in. We get introduced to Korri, and I already know he's going to be a lot, doing a lot for the camera and for attention. Then Anthony, another one I feel like is going to be doing a lot. He's from New York, and Korri is from New Jersey. And I've been living in New Jersey and working in New York, so I know the vibes. And I always feel like New Yorkers do the most to, have a moment. And it feels fake to me. So I don't know if I'm going to like Korri, and I don't want to prejudge, but based on past shows like Baddies with people like Tavi and Biggie, yeah. But I will say this, they do make good TV. They make good TV. So I give them that. Because usually they do something to become villains and they try to, drag it out to keep the attention on them. And that makes it kind of entertaining. But whatever. Next we meet Noel. He giving like, chill vibes. So baby, he stripped naked at the auditions. What was the reason? What was that about? I mean, it got him on the show. So do what you got to do, I guess. But the fact that he got jumped while getting naked, now that's crazy. And I feel like he is going to be a little standoffish, so the boys might not, really care for him too much. So that's how I feel about Noel. Then we got Link. Baby, he gives straight up drugs, energy, adrenaline, something going on, baby. He is on one. He on 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 10 and 1,000 if he need to get there. He's definitely going to be a nutcase of the show. But hopefully them hands match because, they say them Philly boys really get active, child. So I'm ready to see that. Next is Paris, and honestly, I don't see him getting into drama, and I'm okay with that. Everybody don't need to be messy. Well, everybody needs to be messy. Everybody just don't need to be in a mess. Some people can, just be there for fun. Then we get to meet Cozy, and anytime I hear a New Orleans accent, Nola baby, Louisiana, you got me. You got me, you got me. Point blank, period. Nothing more, nothing less. This it. But when he said he bringing that straight side to the cast, I cried, I screamed, I did all the things. Because yes, Cozy, balance. The gay boys be taking over the show, so I'm here for a little mix up, I just hope it's an even balance, but I'm here for it. And it's just so funny he called it out. Like, that's so rare. Why would they have him say that? And then keep it in. That's so messy. But then we meet Stace. No, Stace. Like lace. Stace. He handsome, but I thought he was going to be, boring. But baby, I might be team Stace. But we'll get into that later. Now, let's move on to the whole Sprinter situation. So, on Sprinter 1, they introducing themselves to each other, asking who gay, who straight. And Korri says he's pansexual and he freaking everything from people to pots, child. That's what he said. Yeah, I don't know if we needed to know all that, but we got it now. I feel like he's going to, make that, his whole personality, and it's going to be draining, but we'll see. Then we got John from that low-budget Love Island type of show Ray J was hosting on Zeus, the Love Cabin show. Child, he was already cocky there and doing the most, so I'm not surprised he's here. Granted, I only had seen 2 episodes of that show. Like, I just couldn't get past barely even the second episode. I don't even think I finished the second, but I remember him being very cocky. Very cocky. And wasn't he like a porn star or something? I don't know. I don't remember. But one thing about it, he knows to stay on Zeus' payroll. But I want to see how he's going to act in this environment. Then Jayda says he's, we get introduced to Jayda, and he says, he's here to fight and beat people up. And I don't like that. Like, at least, say you here to have fun and turn up, and if you got to fight, then so be it. But just coming in straight up saying, like, I'm just here to fight. Whoever. You, I'm here to fight. Point blank, period, nothing else. So what's up? Like, so you don't got anything else to offer? That's it? Like, no personality, no funnies, nothing, no comedian aspect, just fight? I mean, I know that's what we're here for, but we need more. But anyways, getting into Sprinter 2, we finally meet Pootie. And yeah, Pootie gonna be a lot. Pootie is gonna be a lot. But the fact that he from Louisiana, where's the accent? I did not catch the accent. If anything, he sounded like he was from Miami, like me. Like, baby, I don't know. But I'm going to enjoy saying Pootie name. I just like that. Pootie. Hey, Pootie. But one thing I do know is he is the drama when it comes to the relationship with Landon. Like, I can already tell based on his personality. Granted, their personality is probably the same, but I just feel like it's Landon. I said Landon. I feel like it's probably Pootie they be doing the most. And I know Landon says, they're going to ride for each other, but I feel like they're also going to be fighting each other a lot. And it's probably going to be because of Pootie and his feelings, but child, we'll see. These just my assumptions. Then we meet Shotty, and listen. Shotty is from Detroit. And I ain't gonna lie, Shotty, you got a little pressure on you. You do, because someone from Baddies got Detroit people looking crazy. So if you can't fight, that's fine, I guess. But you better bring some type of personality, some comedic relief. But you gotta bring something, because we already know y'all can't fight. So y'all just good for buffs and bricks, I guess. Then we meet Check the Star, and baby, I just know he's going to get beat up, because I don't know anybody from Tampa, Florida that can fight. Hopefully he sticks to, being the life of the party, because if he gets into drama, they're going to tear him up. I can already tell you that. So, yeah. Now, let's get into things for real, because it got messy real quick. So, Link says he got beef with someone named Dory because he ripped out his dreads at auditions. And at this point, we haven't gotten introduced to anybody named Dory. So I'm over here thinking like, here we go, more people getting added to the cast. So I'm aggravated, I'm overstimulated, because in my mind that means more people, and it's like I'm barely remembering the people in the faces that we already got. So you mean to tell me it's more? So I'm already overwhelmed about that. But come to find out, Link is calling Korri Dory to be shady. But I was like, thank God, because I could not take any more cast members And Zeus already be oversaturated in these shows with too many people thinking, you know, it's going to move things along and move storylines and plots along. But we've seen time and time again that's not the case. We still get slow, dry episodes, even with a huge cast of people. So the producers just need to do better and find a way to bring the same energy to the show without so many people in a smaller cast, because it's just too much. But I'm not even about to go there because I'll be complaining all day and it doesn't even matter now that I know Dory is really Korri, who is on Sprinter 1. So getting back to Korri, he's over in the Sprinter and basically he's trying to fight Zeus because Zeus clocked shit immediately. So Korri starts off saying, you know, the cast don't really have any personality. All they know how to do is fight. And Zeus basically repeats the same point, like, well, everything y'all been saying so far in this Sprinter is about fighting. I ain't hearing nothing about y'all personality. I'm not getting personality from y'all. He didn't say all that, but that's basically what he was trying to say. So Korri got mad and calls him a bitch. Gets all hyped up, and it's like, you really just like literally proved the point that he was making. Why are you this mad over what he said? Korri is giving loser looking for a moment, babes. I'm calling it now. Loser. Because what they said should not have gotten Korri that tight. He was just trying to, you know, do his big one, and he really ended up looking silly, in my opinion. And apparently, Zeus is Jonathan's brother, who was from the previous Bad Boy season. So Korri says he don't want beef with Jonathan because we all know Jonathan really got hands. Like, Jonathan used to tear them boys up. So we know Jonathan got hands, but he still want beef or pressure with Zeus. And my thing is, if you got a problem with me, you got a problem with my brother. So what are you even talking about? Ain't no picking and choosing. But my brother not here, so it don't matter. It don't matter. And also, Korri don't even sound right, you know, trying to curse people out and sell them out. Like, it's a no for me, dog. He might be entertaining. I give him that, but right now, nah. Not really feeling them. And while all this fighting and arguing is happening on this tight Sprinter, John is holding Korri back like security. And at this point, they just need to give him a Guardian of Zeus shirt. Because, baby, what is going on? What is, if they gonna get, John, please, babes, please. But I'm not going to lie. John is going to be funny, especially in his confessionals. Like, I can already see his slick mouth and his over, like, cocky self saying, I don't even know if that makes sense. He's very cocky, and I could just see the cockiness coming out in his confessionals, and he's saying whatever he feel like he needs to say. Now, while John is trying to break everything up, Korri accidentally, you know, hits him in the eye, and John says, I should have just minded my business between Wonder Sykes and Sid. Now, why would he say that? Why would he say Zeus looks like Sid, even though he do? Sid from Ice Age. He do. And Korri supposed to be Wonder Sykes. Why would he do that? And then Korri still talking mess. He never shut up after that, to the point that he started to piss Jayda off. So now Jayda wants to beat his ass. And baby, Jayda literally jumps over the chairs in the Sprinter to get to the back to where Korri is. And at this point, I'm just enjoying the ping pong ass whooping Korri is getting, because he's being disrespectful for no reason. So now he is getting exactly what he was looking for and what he was asking for, which was attention and ass whooping. Hello? Somebody. And then Jayda is so funny because after he get his little licks in, he, you know, fixes himself up like nothing happened, child. Too funny. And then he goes to say, child, get me off this Sprinter so I could beat this bitch under it. Ate that. He ate that. He definitely ate that for sure. I like that. I'm going to write that down, take a picture, baby, put it in my memories. That was cute. So finally, they arrive at the house they're going to be staying in, and it's really nice. I just hope they don't have to keep moving around like the Bad Gone Wild Girls had to do on their first season. So we shall see. But as they pull up, Natalie is already there waiting for them. But things are still happening on the Sprinter. So over in Sprinter 2, Chet the Star being messy with crazy ass Link brings up how Korri snatched his dress out at the auditions. Now Link let him say what he had to say and laughed it off. But Chet the Star started dragging it just a little bit. Like, he wasn't dragging it as far as like he's talking about it, but he was just, it was the fact that he was just talking about it, period. Like, just shut up. So Link wanted that from him. And what's wild to me is Check the Star is white with these ugly, I hate white boys or people that's not black that get dreads. I know people call them lots, but I'm from Miami. We call them dreads. He had like, you white with these ugly dreads while Link is black and had real dreads that actually got pulled out. So the audacity for you to even say something like that to Link. So yeah, no, that was crazy for you to even like do that to him and say that to him. It wasn't even funny. It was just weird. Like, what? But anyways, Check the Star tried to apologize to Link, even though Link initially let it, he let it roll off his shoulders. He still was bothered a little bit. So Link told Check the Star, I need that, and then we can, be over it. But because you played in my face and you doing too much, yeah, I gotta have that. He didn't say it like that, but I can tell that's, what he felt like and what he wanted to do. And you know what? I respected that from Link. He didn't do too much. He just stood on, what it was. And Check the Star knew it was coming too because he tried to, rush and hurry up and apologize. So Link fights him right there on the bus. But see, they sprinter kind of different than the other sprinters, so they had more space and they can kind of move around and get there. So that was kind of good compared to jumping over freaking chairs and stuff. And baby, Check the Star was getting flung and slung all over the place, not even trying to fight back. And I told y'all this earlier. I told y'all he was going to be getting beat up because I don't know nobody from Tampa that really know how to fight. But beyond that, he said he Puerto Rican. So a Puerto Rican from Tampa know how to fight? Never seen it, never heard of it. That's crazy. That's a blimp in the universe. Yeah. So I already knew how that was going to go. Now, switching back over to Sprinter 1, at this point, I realized that Korri really is the problem. It really is him. Because now I'm thinking about it, you got beef with Jayda and Zeus, and now Link wants, your head for, literally your head in your hair. But he wants that from you for, snatching out his dress at the audition. So, yeah, baby. Yeah. So as soon as Link sees him, when they get off the sprinter right in front of Natalie, he beats the brakes off of Korri. And I'm just sitting here like, why would Korri start beef with all these people knowing he already had other problems lined up? But then again, he did say on the sprinter he was saving his energy. That's why he wasn't really trying to do too much with Zeus. Even though he was still doing too much, he did say at one point he needed to save his energy for when he get off the sprinter. So now we know what he needed to save his energy for. He wasn't goddamn lying. Because baby Link did him in, okay? Now granted, Korri did kind of slip on some rocks, but honestly, it didn't even matter. Like Link still was getting him. He was getting him regardless. And let me just say, security is not playing with these boys this season. This season, they are slamming them to the ground like it's WWE. Like, damn. Okay. So after they finally separate Link and Korri, Link starts running around with a piece of Korri's braid in his head. He clearly was not, when they was fighting and rumbling on the ground, he clearly had held that boy head to it, like he had to feel it before he let that boy go, because he really wanted his payback for his dreads, because now that boy had to cut everything out. That's crazy. And then they started fighting again. And now at this point, they're trying to like both slam each other. Mind you, they both small, but they both kind of the same height. So they trying to slam each other, child. Boy shit. And I'm just sitting here like, why is this so entertaining? Like literally, it's like watching a wrestling match. And Natalie in the background talking about, this is a good thing, guys. They're hugging. Like, Natalie, shut up. Not right now with the jokes. Even though that's exactly what was going on, child. They was bear hugging each other at this point. But one thing about Korri, he's going to be a problem. Korri is going to be a problem, especially with that bitch word. Like, he used that like it's like he drinking water. Bitch, everybody's a fucking bitch. He uses it way too much and it's disrespectful at this point. And the boys are already getting tired of it. And they are not playing with him. They ain't playing with Korri ass. But anyways, once again, I have to respect Link, because after the fight, he was actually willing to squash it with Korri. But Korri wanted to keep the beef going. And let's keep it a bean. If I just fought somebody, yeah, I might be a little skeptical, shake their hand and act like we cool and move on. I'll be skeptical too. But I do feel like that's something boys do. They fight, shake hands, and move on. It really be the gays like Korri and the girls that really, drag it all the way to hell. So because Korri didn't, want to squash things, Link throws a water bottle at him. Korri splashes water back, but it hits, other people because they're still around all the boys. And now Landon is mad because the water got on him. So now he's fighting Korri. And all you hear in the background is Pootie like, beat that nigga up, babe. At this point, Korri is not going to know peace in this house. Like, he is not. And honestly, I feel like that's what he wants, because when you the most hated, you always, locked in to come back. We've seen it time and time again. But I will say though, Landon, he did a bit much. Like, that boy just got beat up. You ain't have to do all that, especially over some water, child. It wasn't needed. And now at this point, Korri's finger is literally broken, bent all the way back. But like I said, that's the mess he wanted. So these are the repercussions. Moving on, Natalie says, there is no injury reserved for the boys this season. So if you can't participate, basically y'all going home. And I honestly don't think that's fair, because these boys go hard, and then you got security behind them on their ass, throwing them around like rag dolls. So the chances of them getting hurt is way higher than, when the girls get hurt. So yeah, I ain't really like that. Like, if anybody be needing injury reserve, it really be the boys. But based on what Natalie is saying to the boys, it seems like Bad Boys has been revamped to follow the structure of Bad Gone Wild, which I actually like. They're going to have, a few bad boy chains to give out, and then the fan favorite, we get to vote for them. They're going to get $50,000. So I'm here for it. Give them boys some money, because they are on this show fighting like Vikings. They really are. So give them something for their action. So once Natalie said all that, Jayda starts talking about how he's going to turn things up now that he heard about the money. But what really gets me is, you was just talking about wanting to be the house leader, but now you want to turn things up. Boy, make up your mind, because you can't do both. You can't. I feel like the house leader has to be, somebody neutral and not biased. And you can't do that if you constantly are starting stuff and getting into problems with everyone, because no one will listen to you and you won't be able to control the house. So no house leader role for you, Jayda. Honestly, I think they should give it to John. He seems like he'll be a good little house father child, since he want to play security. Even though he's definitely going to be shady in his confessionals, he probably may be the best choice. Now moving on, Cozy brings up how he's never been in a house full of gay boys, but he's willing to respect them and learn their ways. But he also made it clear, if he got to fight, they can run it. Now, while he's talking, Ant kind of speaks over him, not intentionally, but kind of agreeing with him. But Cozy takes it the wrong way and basically tells Ant to shut up. And I'm not even going to lie, that was crazy. That was crazy, because Ant just sat there. Even Natalie looked confused, like, you just gonna let him talk to you like that? And to me, it didn't even seem like, Ant cared at first. Like, he didn't really care that he, did that and said that. It looked like he was, going to let it slide. Like, it is what it is, until everybody started hyping it up. Then suddenly, he wants to fight. Ant wants to fight. And that's what made the situation kind of feel, the fight itself feel inauthentic. Like, you didn't want to fight at first, so don't try to fight now. It was given follower. It was given easily influenced, easily manipulated. Honestly, I feel like Ant should have just stood on not caring, and maybe later put Cozy to the side, like, next time, don't play in my face like that. Maybe that's something he could have did, and whatever happens after that, then it happens. But in that moment, nah. But him trying to fight Cozy after Natalie called it out, yeah, that didn't do it for me. It was giving jump off a bridge because I told you so. And I don't like them type of vibes. So then Noel randomly steps up asking if anybody got a problem with him. Just looking for a moment. And it's like, boy, move out the way. Go on back to the side. We don't even know you. Why would we have a problem with you? What? So Jayda basically said, well, now I have a problem with you since you did all that. So you want to fight or you good? And Noel was like, oh, I'm good. And I'm just sitting here confused, because if you're good, why even make the speech? Just doing too much for no reason. So Jayda popped Noel and dropped him. And that was so embarrassing, because Noel is too big to be falling all over the place like that. After doing all that hooting and hollering. And then all you hear in the background is Landon saying, imagine trying to pop your shit and you get your ass beat. That's crazy. And yes, Landon, clock him. Because why would you even do all that? Side note, Paris is going to be another one I enjoy. Well, I don't know the pronouns, but in his confessionals, he gonna be funny. But yeah, Jayda was tagging Noel. At this point, it was just ridiculous to watch. Noel needs to give it up. Falling all over the place. Like, it was crazy. Then randomly, Natalie says either Jonathan or Shotty, I could call him Jonathan, but John, or Shotty has to go home. And that felt so weird and random. Like, why? They could have just left the cast as is. This is the type of random stuff I don't like that they'll just randomly do on the show. I actually think this is a good cast so far, so I'm not sure what they were trying to do, like where they were trying, like what kind of moment they were trying to create doing that, because there has already been plenty of fights happening in drama, so we didn't need that. It just felt overly produced. Like, production told Natalie to say that, and honestly, if anybody should have been, on a chopping block, it should have been Check the Star, because he didn't even try to defend himself when, he fought Link. But anyways, Jayda says, he likes John so Shotty can go home. And then Shotty starts fighting Jayda, and Jayda beats him up too. Man, listen, Jayda said he came to bang, and that's exactly what he doing, child. Now, he still don't need to be running the house, but I will say, he got some hands. I give him that. What is it about all the boys that do here? They all can fight. And it looked like Shotty had a busted lip, like a bruised lip in his confessional. So yeah, he got. So after all that mess, no one got sent home, and Natalie lets them know, like, they won't have their phones in the house, which I actually like. They can only use their phones in like the phone room, and they have a confessional booth too. So far I'm liking what I'm hearing. I think it's going to be a really good show. So the boys find their rooms, and then they head out to the club. Now on Sprinter 1, Landon brings up how Check should go home, and honestly, I agree, because I said that to y'all earlier. I just don't really see him doing much, but at the same time, Check the Star might not be, a fighter, but his slick mouth could get him into drama, and I'm okay with that, because I always say everybody doesn't have to fight, and everybody doesn't have to win their fights, when they're in them, but you do have to bring something to the show. And hell, he was a part of one of the first fights, so I'm cool with him staying for now, just to see, what more he has to offer. Now, over on Buzz 2, they asked the same question, and Link says it straight to Check's face that, he should go home for not defending himself when they fought. And everybody kind of agreed. But I'm not going to lie, I don't think we should keep using, fighting as the main way to discern, who's a bad boy, who's a baddie or not. Like, we don't need that, because some of the fighters don't have no personality, Tasiki. Like, in my opinion, they shouldn't be on the show, because they are boring. I feel like personality will always win over fighting, because once you fight, yeah, you have a moment real quick, but then you fade into the background. Meanwhile, the person with personality might entertain us the whole time, even if they lose a fight, and that's what keeps the show going. But anyways, to me, this episode felt jam-packed. I would have been perfectly fine if it ended at them at the club. But nope, there was more. So apparently now John has beef with Sace, because Sace yelled at him about something off camera, child. I don't even know. But then John turns around and tells Sace he should go home because he has too many alliances and friends in the house. And I'm like, Jonathan, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? That's not even what we're, that's not even what you were saying in your confession. You was talking about the whole him yelling at him. But in his face, now you saying that it's because he got alliances and stuff. So why aren't you even switching it up? You hadn't done confused me. But whatever. And plus, it's not Sace. I be wanting to call his boy Sauce. But it's not Sace's fault that people like him. What do his friendships have to do with him going home? Like, that made no sense. Hell, how about you going home? You ain't done nothing but play security so far. So why you don't go home? Why I gotta be Sace? But then Sace and John start fighting, and I'm like, okay, never mind, John. You can stay. You go ahead, you can say. Now, honestly, Sace was holding his own. To me, it felt like a tie. But John does have more, weight on him, so he was using that to his advantage. Sace didn't get beat the way John probably thinks he did, at least from my point of view. Now, yes, John did kick Sace in the face and bruised up his eye, but let's be real, light-skinned people bruise easily. So overall, both rounds felt like a tie to me. It's just that last kick gave John the edge over Sace. Now, one thing Sace does need to work on, he gotta be quicker with his words, because John was on his head basically trying to play him and question his sexuality, and that was kind of disrespectful, because if the boy not gay, why would you say he gay, and why would you say, he wanted other boys? Now, I ain't gonna lie, I did think Sace was gay, but Sace, I guess, ain't gay. I don't know, I probably gotta go watch that. Is he gay? Or is he not? Because he was saying he not. So why would John say that? You get what I'm saying? Especially if the man ain't gay. But Sace was stuttering, trying to respond. I don't know if he was tired or what, but yeah, he got to be quicker when it comes to that. And I'm not going to lie, they need to stop trying to use Jonathan against Sace, because that's his brother. It's weird because Sace doesn't even bring him up. They all bring him up. And Sace has been standing on his own since the beginning. So I don't know why they keep bringing up Sace. Jonathan. I don't get that. What does Jonathan have to do with anything? He's not even here. So yeah, they need to just let that go. After all that, I thought we were about to get, a house meeting, but instead we see Noel on the phone, in the phone booth talking to his grandparents, checking on his grandpa, and he's sad and he's crying, and here comes Jayda ass, disturbing the boys' peace. And Noel is literally in there emotional, opening up. And I'm like, why are you even talking to your op, whining and crying after y'all just fought? Me, personally, I would have told him to get the hell out my business. And then Jayda gonna say, you in here crying and wasting time, you can go home, just being mean and rude for literally no reason. And I did not like that. Noel should have got up and popped him in his ass immediately. The moment he came in interrupting, it shouldn't have been, oh, I was just talking. No, it should have been, whoop, immediately. Like, what are we talking about? And then Jayda goes to say everybody wants Noel to go home. Whole time I have not. Did y'all? I ain't hear nobody say that they wanted Noel to go home. So he completely made that up. But maybe it's some side talk that we don't know about. But still, I still haven't heard anybody say that. But then eventually Noel did pop him. So I was happy about that. And them two started fighting towards the end. And that's kind of how everything ended. So far, I'm liking Bad Boys. And might I say it's giving a little better than Baddies? I don't know. We'll see. At least Baddies, you would say. I feel like the boys do kind of get overlooked a lot. So I'm enjoying it so far. But that's neither here or there. With that being said, y'all already know what to do. Like this video and show your girl some love. Comment your thoughts and let's discuss this first episode of Bad Boys Dominican Republic. And last but certainly not least, subscribe and join the Queendom, baby. Bye.